Today we're diving into a super funky groove using one of my favorite sticking patterns, right, left, right, right, left, right, right, left. It's a twist on the single paradiddle, which is going to help you to widen your vocabulary on the drums, work on ghost notes and your overall dynamics, add accents to your hi-hat patterns, develop your independence as we start to add the bass drum, and give you a really useful phrase that comes in handy in all kinds of situations. It's really fun to play and a great little trick to have in your back pocket when you need to drop a little extra sauce onto your grooves and your fills. If you want to grab a free PDF of all of the exercises shown in this video and a few extra bonus ones to help you out, then you can find that at the link in the video description. So let's get into it and start off with how to apply this sticking pattern to the drums. Let's break down this sticking pattern first. Right hand on the hi-hat, left on the snare, and we want to play right, left, right, right, left, right, right, left as a 16th note pattern. As I mentioned before, this is a bit of a twist on the single paradiddle. We're playing the paradiddle as it usually is in the first half, but in the second half we're using an inversion of the paradiddle. So all of the diddles are on the hi-hat, which just helps to make this groove sound a little bit more funky. So make sure to start off with, you can play this pattern with a nice consistent 16th note feel. Take it at whatever tempo you need to in the beginning. And as you're able to start pushing the tempo a little bit, you'll get something a bit like this. Once you've got that down, we're going to start to add some dynamics to this by adding some ghost notes. So to get this grooving, we need to start to bring out the backbeat on beats 2 and 4. But before we worry about the accented backbeat, let's try to just play all of the left-hand notes on the snare drum as ghost notes. Keep your left stick nice and low over the center of the drum and see if you can play every note on the snare from that height with no backlift between each note. Notice that we're still keeping the right hand on the hi-hat nice and strong. You don't want to bring the dynamics of everything down, just the left hand. Now to add in the accented snare on the backbeat, you need to use an upstroke on the very first ghost note in the pattern to lift the stick up to set up the accent. Then use a downstroke to play the accented backbeat and bring the stick back to the ghost note position afterwards. Then the final ghost note in the pattern is a tap stroke, ready to start it again. So we get it up, a down, and a tap. Practice this slowly with the hi-hats back in and really get a grasp of the motions and movements that you need to use here and the dynamic independence between the right hand and the left hand. Playing that a little quicker will give you something like this. Once you've got that feeling good, we can move on and add a couple of accents to the hi-hat pattern. So now that you've got the left hand sorted out, we're going to add a couple of accents to the hi-hat pattern to make things even more funky. And these accents all fall on the second of each diddle. So to do this, you want to use an upstroke on the first of each diddle. Lift from the wrist to bring the stick up, and then throw the accent back down with an upstroke to create this whipping motion. Now to work this into the groove, you could just start with the hi-hat pattern and play. Then bring the left hand back in. You can even leave the accent out again if you like and just play the ghost notes. And a little tip, when you start to bring the accent back in on the left hand, try playing this on the ride cymbal instead of the hi-hat so you don't feel like your sticks are getting in the way of each other. You can open up a little bit more and get more height into the left hand. Then try taking it back onto the hi-hat. Now that you've got your hands in good shape, we just need to add the kick drum to finish up the groove. Now obviously you can use any kick pattern that you like underneath this sticking pattern, and you should definitely do that. Try out as many different kick patterns as you can think of. But I've picked this one in particular as the kick moves around through different 16th note placements in the bar. One of the kicks is on the downbeat, one of the kicks is on a ghost note, and the other two kicks are on each diddle. So they move around through each of the 4 16th notes. If you find this too tricky in the beginning, grab the free PDF in the video description and I'll add some extra grooves in there that have simpler kick patterns and take the kick drum one note at a time. But here's the groove slowly so you can hear where the 4 kick drums line up with different notes within the paradiddle sticking. So work on this nice and slowly in the beginning. Make sure the kicks are lining up nicely with the notes that they should be in unison with, particularly the one that lands with the ghost note on the left hand. And when you can play it a little quicker, it should go something a bit like this. So this little paradiddle combo is super fun, it's super useful. It works in everything from funk to pop to rock to metal to jazz. And you can use it as the basis for an entire groove or a fill, or just chuck it in for a couple of beats here and there to add a little bit of ear candy to your grooves. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. If you want to dive deeper into how to play ghost notes, then check out this video here, and I'll see you in the next one.